Hi, and welcome to AmalgamNation's second bonus lore video. So this is AmalgamNation presents World of Lorecraft. This will be the second World of Lorecraft vid this week, and this one is all about the Qiraji. The Qiraji are a race of insectoid creatures in southern Cilitus. They once had a large empire. Different types of Qiraji are referred to as castes with a lifelong occupation and responsibility in society. It seems to be that every caste has a leader who are under the command of the twin emperors Vaknilash and Veclor. The three most notable castes are the Battle Guards, led by Battle Guard Sartura, Gladiators led by General Rajax, and Prophets led by the Prophet Scaram. The Qiraji are able to create servants of living obsidian stone, the Obsidian Destroyers, and Nubasats and Horusats. Okay, so I'm going to skip some of the lore because it's basically a repeat of what I've said before. It's all about how they were created and how the Well of Eternity plays a role in that. So I'm going to skip to the War of the Shifting Sands, which sounds more interesting, and this is my first time reading this myself. So, yay! New info. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a little bit of information that will make the next bit, the War of the Shifting Sands, a little bit more understandable. Right. So, after the Qiraji split from the Aqir and the Nerubians, they travelled south and they conquered the Titan creations, I suppose, in the south, near Oldham, and they called themselves the Qiraji instead, and they called their new home Qiraj. After that, they spent the next thousands of years building an army capable of exacting revenge upon the entire of Kalimdor. And that brings us to the War of the Shifting Sands. The War of the Shifting Sands. Only the Night Elves who once inhabited Cilitus stood in their way. The War of the Shifting Sands raged for long agonizing months. The Night Elves were always on the defensive, always outnumbered, always being driven back. The whole of Cilitus was soon engulfed by the Silithid and their Qiraji hosts. The Night Elf army was pushed back through Ungoro to the borders of the Tanaris Desert. Out of desperation, the Night Elven leader Fandral Staghelm sought the aid of the elusive Bronze Dragonflight. Their initial refusal to interfere was reversed when the brazen Qiraji attacked the Caverns of Time, home and province of Nosdormu, the Timeless One. Nosdormu's heir Anachronos agreed to enlist the Bronze Dragonflight against the marauding Qiraji. Every able-bodied Night Elf joined the cause, and together they forged a campaign to retake Cilitus. Even with the might of the dragons backing them, however, the sheer numbers of the Qiraji and Silithid proved overwhelming, and so Anachronos called upon the progeny of the remaining flights. Even so, it seemed that the numbers of Qiraji and Silithid were never ending, so the dragons and Fandral hatched their final desperate plan to contain the Qiraji within the city, to erect a barrier that would confine them until a more hopeful stratagem could be devised. With the blessing of Elune, the barrier was erected before their eyes, rock and stone and roots from beneath the sands emerging to create an impenetrable wall. Even the winged soldiers who attempted to fly over the barrier met with an invisible obstruction that they could not pass. The Qiraji who remained outside the wall were quickly slain. The dragon told Fandral that should any mortal ever wish to pass the magical barrier and access the ancient city, they need only strike the scepter against the gong and the gates would open. He then handed the scepter to the Archdruid. Hoping to contain the threat for all eternity, the arrogant Fandral then broke the scepter, both insulting and angering the Bronze Dragonflight. His actions that day created a rift between the allies that has existed to this day. The threat posed by the Qiraji has thus remained behind its wall for thousands of years. Recently, however, the unmentionable old god slowly awakened from his slumber beneath Ahn'Qiraj. Behind the gates of the Scarab Wall, the merciless Qiraji stirred once again. Empowered by the old god Khotun, the Qiraji prepared their legions for a worldwide assault to avenge their bitter defeat at the hands of the Night Elves 1,000 years ago. It was discovered that some of the Qiraji were finding ways past the wall. Anachronos the Bronze Dragon helped the adventurers of Azeroth open the Scarab Wall to prevent more incursions. The mortal races have now banded together to confront the evil Qiraji in their own land. A champion has opened the gate, and the Horde and Alliance have driven the armies of the Qiraji back into the ruins in retreat. It now falls to heroes to delve into the lair of the Qiraji and put an end to their masters once and for all. Qiraji during the Burning Crusade. Harbinger Skyrus is one of the Qiraji entities that the Naru kept locked up within the Alcatraz. As a servant of the old god, he seeks to usher in his master's vision of conquering all of the worlds in the universe. He corrupted Warden Melekar into releasing all the prisoners within the Alcatraz. Skyrus indicates that the Qiraji may still have a role to play in the universe. Skyrus speaks of the might of the Qiraji in the universe, saying, "We span the universe, as countless as the stars, and also, no force in this world or beyond harbours the strength to bend our knee, not even the mighty legion." Because there is no reinforcement for this theory, he most likely blusters. Or lies, just for those that don't understand what a bluster is. Qiraji culture. The Qiraji and their servants wield items made with the rarest and finest materials. Bones from gargantuan ancient creatures, gems from the depths of the earth, metals pure and strong. The most powerful Qiraji wield items of such might they'd give pause even to a dragon. The rings worn by the Qiraji lieutenants are rumoured to grant them formidable abilities. The corrupted gems that adorn them could, in theory, be swapped out with more pure materials to create uncorrupted versions of the rings. It seems to be that female Qiraji most constantly keep their face covered. Okay, well, it seems that's all there is to say about the Aqir now. As I said, this is the third and final part. The first part was the Aqir themselves, then we had the Nerubians, and now finally the Qiraji, because they split into two different proper factions of them. So, thank you for listening. As always, remember, play to game and game to play.